cutting edge of anomaly research. You are about to experience The Evidence with your host, 3D pioneer and image analyst with Mars X3D, D.W. Burnett.
Well, hi there and welcome to another episode. This one is 58 of The Evidence. This is your buddy Dave over at Mars X3D, and if you're new to the channel, this is a stereoscopic 3D video channel. That means you need to learn X3D viewing, which is very simple. There's a link down below that'll teach you how to do it. Take you about 2 minutes for the average person, and it opens up an entire world of amazing stuff to you, not only on this channel, but all over the internet. So take a moment to look at that. But anyway, I've been kind of hogging the spotlight for the last couple of months, diving into the archives and getting all this new stuff that I found kind of off my chest. But I'd like to feature some of my colleagues today, guys and gals too, who are working day and night, finding all kinds of wonderful stuff. So let's take a look at it. Let's start out this week with an offering from one of our team members on Facebook, Alexander Liah. I always like NavCam images because they give you a nice, clean stereo pair to work with. The downside is that they are low resolution, but you can still find some good stuff in them now and then. I tried to clear this up as much as possible, but like I said, these are low-res images. So what do we have here? That kind of looks like a joystick, doesn't it? It's just blurry enough that it could be a simple matter of some interesting erosion on sedimentary rock. But isn't it interesting that it seems to be on a mounting plate? In fact, 2 mounting plates. And when you shift your eyes to the boulder just in back of it, it looks like there are regular markings on it, at least 2 squares with concave circles centered inside them. Whether this is a broken and corroded machine or just some bizarre wind erosion, it is an interesting find. And by the way, if you're interested, stop by our Facebook page, because there's lots of finds being shared there that never make it into the videos. There's a link down below. Like I mentioned, I've been kind of hogging the spotlight for the last couple of months, so I'm focusing on other researchers for this episode, just to take a stab at fair and balanced reporting. I can always rely on Terry Burnett to provide something of interest. Here's one he posted just recently, down there in the right-hand corner. Look at that kind of pinwheel device inside the end of that rock. In fact, take a good look at all the rocks all around it. Look at the markings and look at the shapes. Frankly, I don't think those are rocks at all. I think they're all broken pieces of machinery that have either been rock shopped by NASA or maybe encased in mud fossils. It doesn't matter really whether I'm right or wrong about that, because whatever that device is we're looking at, it's most definitely not a rock. Let's squeeze in tight for a better look. So is it a fossil? A machine? A critter of some kind? And wouldn't it be just wonderful if Curiosity rolled over there and got a good close-up with maybe the MastCam? Sure it would. But I'm sure there are far more important things to ignore down the road a bit. As long as we're visiting Terry for a minute, let's take a look at something he ran across just the other day. What Terry presented is in the upper left corner, what I'm calling a metal part. Now it may or may not be metal, but you gotta call it something. Anyway, those 3 pieces look like a machine that broke into 3 parts. That's just conjecture, of course, but they do look strange. They're all practically the same size. They seem to be the same material and all in a line, so maybe you can forgive me for thinking that. But check out the white arrow. It's pointing right at a little gear-shaped thing that seems to have its teeth arranged around a cup. We'll take a closer look at that in just a minute, but let's take a closer look at Terry's find first. Look at the shape of this thing. It looks kind of purposeful, doesn't it? I know that Mars is covered with bluestone, but this just looks metallic to me. So here's that little gear tucked among the rocks. I'll admit that erosion might be able to pull something like that off, but given its shape and position right by possible machine parts, well, that makes it a little suspicious in my book. Now, this is an interesting one from my buddy Jim West. Our context view takes in a wide area. You can see the wall, almost too small to see, over there on the left. And on the right, a gigantic pyramid with some extras we'll get into in just a moment. Take a look at this. Look at those laser straight lines, the right angles, the surrounding ruins. This practically screams artificial in the mathematic language of non-fractality. Let's move in good and close. This, folks, is an artificial structure. I lightened up the contrast a bit so you can see more detail. I think this is a terrific find by Jim West. And remember what I said about anomalies seeming to travel together like water moccasins? This is a massive pyramid that makes the Great Pyramid of Egypt look like a machine shed. You know, we found scores of beautiful pyramids on Mars, some of which make this one look tiny by comparison, believe it or not. But again, look at those laser straight lines going down both the left and right sides. It looks like the pyramid has collapsed inward on the lower 2/3 of the sides facing us. And in fact, we often find the same type of damage on other Martian pyramids. But look near the apex. See all those little white squiggles? Let's take a closer look at those. What in the world do we have here? Are the white things structural? Are they some kind of tubes or maybe high-volume AC from long ago? Now this will sound pretty far out, but this looks organic to me. As if the pyramid was grown in place, as if it was something that grew into its final shape. I really don't know how geology can account for these formations, nor how it can account for the perfect pyramidal shape on such a scale. Oh, I know, someone will say, of course it's possible, and in fact likely. That's what they say about the gigantic pyramid found in Antarctica, that it's just a mountain. Yeah, with straight angles, even sides, and a symmetrical shape, no problem. But now, look at this next one. Here's that little something extra I mentioned earlier. At the base of the pyramid, we find what I swear are cliff dwellings, like the kind we find in our own American Southwest and indeed all over the world. They're the right size, the right shape, the right location. We're back to that famous quote, if it walks like a duck, has feathers like a duck, and quacks like a duck, it's a rock. Hey, thanks for stopping by and spending a little time with me today. You know, everything that you need to know is down there in the description. Email me some anomalies if you found them. Snapshot and a link. Learn how to view X3D. Contact me. There are all kinds of stuff in there, links to the original images. Anyway, if you liked what you saw, please give me a thumbs up so I'll just keep on doing this. This is your buddy Dave of Mars X3D. Be well.